What's up, everybody? Hey now, hope you're having a good weekend. Hope whatever you're doing, however your weekend was, hope it was good. So, I'm back with another edition of the Year in Wrestling, Part 2 of the year 2015, Part 2 of the Year in Wrestling. I ended it talking about Part 1 of 2015, I ended it talking about some Ring of Honor pay-per-views. I talked about WrestleMania 31 in Part 1. This is Part 2. I'm going to talk about Extreme Rules 2015. Again, I'm not going to talk about the entire show and every match. I'm only going to discuss the main events because if I discuss every match, that will take too long. I'm only going to discuss the entire show about Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, SummerSlams, and Survivor Series. And TNA, I'll talk about Lockdown and Bound for Glory, the entire shows, and that's it. And I'll talk about Ring of Honor pay-per-views. The big shows, I'll talk about all their matches. So, Extreme Rules 2015, here we go. Kicked off with the pre-show match was Neville defeating Bad News Barrett. Nobody really cared, but it was a good win for Neville. Main events were for one of them was a Russian chain match for the WWE United States Championship. John Cena defending against Rusev. John Cena wins, defeats Rusev to retain the U.S. title. Divas Championship, Nikki Bella was the champion with Brie, defeated Naomi. Crowd was very dead silent for that match and didn't really care. One of the other matches that I guess was a big match, but it wasn't a main event. Roman Reigns defeated The Big Show in a last man standing match. Main event was a steel cage match for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. Seth Rollins, the defending champion. Seth Rollins defeated Randy Orton by escaping the cage and retaining the championship. I believe this was Extreme Rules, was Rollins' first title defense on a pay-per-view. So that was Extreme Rules. What I remember of it, decent, good pay-per-view. Now I'm going to talk about Payback, WWE Payback, the main event. And first, the pre-show match was R-Truth defeating Stardust. Pretty pathetic that WWE never really pushed Stardust, aka Cody Rhodes. They never pushed him to become a main event star. Another pre-show match was the Ascension defeating Curtis Axel and Macho Mandow. They really misused Sandow and Axel. They should have been pushed more. They should have been used better. Should have been booked better, but they weren't. On to the main event. The main event was Seth Rollins, the WWE World Heavyweight Champion. Seth Rollins defending and defeating Roman Reigns, Dean Ambrose, and Randy Orton in a fatal four-way. If Rollins lost the title, Kane would be fired as Director of Operations for the Authority, I guess. Even though the Authority ended at Survivor Series 2014 and then they were brought back, that was stupid. But I liked Rollins as a heel champion. The guy was great as part of the Authority. So Rollins retains at Payback. Now on to Elimination Chamber, which was an extra pay-per-view. WWE had Payback on May 17th. And then on May 31st of 2015, they did another pay-per-view exclusively to the WWE Network. It was Elimination Chamber. And all these pay-per-views, I predicted them on this channel, and I also reviewed them. So go back to my 2015 playlist of me predicting and reviewing all of the WWE pay-per-views from 2015. So Elimination Chamber, it wasn't that good of a show except for the chamber matches. First chamber match was for the tag team titles. Tag team championship elimination chamber match. First time ever. I enjoyed this match. It was pretty entertaining. The New Day, the tag champs. The New Day defeated and retained the tag titles. They defeated the Lucha Dragons, Tyson Kidd and Cesaro, primetime players, the Ascension, and Los Matadors. That's who the New Day all defeated to retain the tag titles. The other Elimination Chamber match for the Intercontinental Championship. The Intercontinental title was vacated, very sadly, because Daniel Bryan had to give up the Intercontinental Championship, just like he had to give up the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. Well, it happened again. Back-to-back years, Daniel Bryan, very sadly, the guy got injured in 2014, and he was stripped of the championships, and then he was stripped of the Intercontinental title. He gave it up on a Raw. He laid it in the ring, I believe, and walked out and said the Intercontinental title deserves to be defended, and he had to give it up because he wasn't cleared to return to the ring. And I don't think Daniel Bryan has wrestled and had a match since WrestleMania 31. I think. And the latter match is one of his last matches. Anyways, so the Intercontinental title was vacated and an Elimination Chamber match was held. The winner would become the new Intercontinental Champion. Ryback defeated Sheamus, R-Truth, King Barrett, Dolph Ziggler, and Mark Henry. So Ryback became the new Intercontinental Champion. He kind of got a rub and a push from Daniel Bryan endorsing him, even though like a month later, Ryback had a very short reign as Intercontinental Champion. I was never a Ryback fan. I thought the guy's a big idiot with no brains. But whatever. He did get himself over with the Feed Me More gimmick. He did get over, but at the end of his career in WWE, nobody gave a F about Ryback. At least I didn't. Main event was singles match for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. Dean Ambrose defeated Seth Rollins, and Seth was with Joey Mercury and Jamie Noble and Kane, and Dean Ambrose won by disqualification, so he didn't win the title yet. That was Elimination Chamber. Now I'm going to talk about Money in the Bank. Money in the Bank, which was held on June 14th of 2015. Pre-show match was R-Truth defeating King Barrett. No one gave a F. Other matches, you had the Divas title on the line. Nikki Bella defeated Paige. And Intercontinental title match, Big Show defeated Ryback by DQ. John Cena defeated Kevin Owens. That was a pretty damn good match. And Kevin Owens made his pay-per-view debut, I believe, at Elimination Chamber or Payback. One of those, Kevin Owens made his pay-per-view debut and defeated John Cena. That was pretty cool. So their rematch, John Cena had to win it. Main event was let me talk about the first Money in the Bank match first. It was the competitors in it. Money in the Bank contract ladder match for a WWE World Heavyweight title shot. Who was in it? Sheamus, Dolph Ziggler, Neville, Kofi Kingston, Kane, Roman Reigns, and Randy Orton. Who won Money in the Bank? Well, Sheamus. Sadly, Sheamus won Money in the Bank and was the worst ever Money in the Bank winner, in my opinion. Sheamus was not entertaining. We were not entertained. He sucked as a Money in the Bank winner. I hated him winning it, but he won it. Good for him. Main event was Seth Rollins defending the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. Seth Rollins defeated Dean Ambrose in a ladder match. It was pretty awesome. Pretty good ladder match. If you don't remember it, go back, watch Money in the Bank 2015 Rollins Ambrose ladder match. It was pretty good. So that was Money in the Bank 2015, pretty good pay-per-view, what I remember of it. Now, BattleGround 2015. BattleGround was also, at least had a pretty good main event and a shocking end to it. The pay-per-view actually got 76,000 buys on pay-per-view. The other year it was 99,000 buys, but because the network, people bought the pay-per-view less on pay-per-view. I don't know why. I don't know why someone was still buying pay-per-views in 2015 when the network was around for over a year already. They must have not had fast internet. I don't know. But I will never pay for another WWE pay-per-view on pay-per-view. I'm going to just keep the network to see the pay-per-views. Pre-show, King Barrett again defeated R-Truth at BattleGround. Why? Why on earth did they have a rematch? It was stupid as hell. Nobody cared that they had a rematch. And this match was for Barrett's King of the Ring crown, which was stupid as hell. Anyways, King Barrett wins. And by the way, King Barrett could have been really over. You had him win King of the Ring basically for nothing because you did nothing with the guy. You just wasted his talents away. So, main event at BattleGround 2015 was Brock Lesnar defeating Seth Rollins, a WWE World Heavyweight Champion. Lesnar defeated Rollins, but he defeated him by disqualification. The lights went out, and then they came back on. The Undertaker was standing in the ring. The crowd went insane. Undertaker kicks Brock in the balls, kicks him in the nuts, and then I believe picks him up, tombstones him, and that's how I believe Rollins won by DQ because the Undertaker interfered. And that would set up the SummerSlam match between Taker and Brock. So BattleGround, the matches were decent, but the main event was the best part of the show in my opinion. So I'm done now talking about WWE pay-per-views. I'm going to go on to TNA pay-per-views. And I believe they only had 2 pay-per-views in 2015. They had, I believe, only 2 pay-per-views TNA could afford to have in 2015. It was Slammiversary and Bound for Glory. So now I'm going to talk about Slammiversary, which took place in June 28th, 2015. Here we go. First match, I don't think it was a pre-show match. Tigre Uno, the X Division champion, in a 3-way elimination match for the X Division title. Tigre Uno defeated Manic and DJZ. So Tigre Uno retained the X Division title. Robbie E defeated Jesse Goddard. They used to be tag partners in the Bromance. Bram defeated Matt Morgan. For some reason, Matt Morgan decided to come back for excuse me. Matt Morgan decided to come back for only one pay-per-view and maybe an Impact show. I don't know why, and then he was gone again. Bram defeated Matt Morgan in a street fight. I guess Matt Morgan was brought back to just put over Bram, because Bram had a weird character where he's crazy and insane. Now we had a winner. Winner gets to pick the stipulation match for the TNA World Tag Team titles at Bell to Bell. I guess Bell to Bell was a Impact special. Austin Aries defeated Davey Richards. Now in a 3-on-2 handicap match, knockouts action. Awesome Kong and Brooke, not Brooke Hogan. Not her. She is not a wrestler, never was, and she really shouldn't have ever been brought into TNA. Awesome Kong and Brooke
Adams. That's what I'm talking about. Brooke Adams used to be in WWE for a short time. I believe she's in Extreme Expose in ECW, WWE's ECW. She was known as Brooke. In TNA, she's known as Brooke Tessmacher, and then she just became Brooke. So Awesome Kong and Brooke defeat the Dollhouse, Taryn Terrell, Jade, and Marty Bell in a 3-on-2 handicap match. James Storm defeats Magnus in a non-sanctioned match. I remember that match. It was pretty good. Tag team match. EC3 and Tigress defeat Lashley and Mr. Anderson. It was a pretty decent tag match. Main event. Now this was very odd. Jeff Jarrett came back on TNA Impact right before Slammiversary. I believe he came out the King of the Mount Championship and just cut a promo with his wife Karen Jarrett, not Karen Angle. She used to be Karen Angle because she is the mother of 2 of Kurt Angle's children. So Karen Jarrett came out with Jeff. Jeff was starting Global Force Wrestling. That still has never gotten off the ground, and it never will. I doubt it ever does. I don't know what the hell Jeff Jarrett is even doing nowadays, but I guess he can't afford to start another company up. And there's really not that enough talent to even start another company to get fans really interested, because you wouldn't have that much good talent. You wouldn't have, Jeff Jarrett, in my opinion, the guy's screwed. He's not going to be able to start Global Force Wrestling probably ever, because all the talent, ex-TNA talent, has gone to NXT. And all the TNA talent is staying there, or they're going to become free agents. And all the indie talent that nobody really knows of, well, fans wouldn't know of them anyways. So, my opinion, Global Force Wrestling is probably never going to start because you don't have enough interest, and you don't have a fan base, and you don't have enough superstar talent to get fans interested enough to watch. And you're not going to get a TV deal either. If maybe Global Force Wrestling can put themselves on the internet for free. I don't know how the hell they could ever make money, but put your show on the internet. Why not? So Jeff Jarrett returned to TNA. Of course, he sold his ownership to Dixie Carter because him and Dixie could not get along anymore, so he wanted to leave. I'm sure Dixie backstabbed him and wanted Jeff out anyways, and Jeff probably was fed up with her and wanted to be out. But anyways, Jeff Jarrett returned for one night only, one pay-per-view only, one match only. This is basically his farewell match in TNA. Jeff Jarrett with Karen Angle defeated Matt Hardy, Eric Young, Drew Galloway, and Bobby Roode in a King of the Mountain match for the King of the Mountain Championship. Jeff Jarrett wins. I believe maybe some Global Force wrestlers got involved. I know they got involved at Impacts after this, and Jeff didn't really have a great roster. He only had guys like, what's that guy's name? He's on SmackDown now. He returned to WWE. Kurt Hawkins. Kurt Hawkins was a part of Global Force Wrestling. Magnus was. Bobby Roode was for a little bit. What's that guy's name? TJ Black. Used to be Justin Gabriel. He was a part of Global Force Wrestling. I believe he was a world champion. So Jeff, you never really had any talent that the fans cared about to watch Global Force Wrestling, and you never even got off the ground. Slammiversary 2015 was decent. It wasn't good or great. I just would say it was decent. It was a little bit better than an Impact Wrestling show, just without the commercials. So now I'm going to talk about some Ring of Honor. Ring of Honor pay-per-views in 2015. I already talked about a few, I believe, but I'm going to talk about some more. So the last one I talked about, I believe, was All-Star Extravaganza. I think I talked about... No, I didn't talk about that. Best in the World, I think I talked about last. Or maybe I didn't. I don't know. So I'll just talk about Global Wars 2015. And then I'll talk about Best in the World. Global Wars 2015 was a internet pay-per-view. It was an pay-per-view, internet pay-per-view on tape delay. I didn't see the show. I only saw the pay-per-view Ring of Honor shows in 2015. I didn't order any of the internet ones. In the pre-dark match, Dalton Castle defeated Donovan Dijak. Both of those guys now are still in Ring of Honor, and they're doing pretty damn well. Tag team matchup, Gato, I believe he's from New Japan Pro Wrestling, Gato and Moose with Veda Scott and Stokely Hathaway, whatever the guy's name is, Stokely. They defeated Silas Young and Tanaka Wannabe, whatever the guy's name is. So Gato and Moose get the victory. Another New Japan Pro Wrestler, Kira Sati, whatever the guy's name is, I can't pronounce it. He defeated Chris Sabin and Kyle O'Reilly in a three-way. The Kingdom in a tag team match. The Kingdom, Matt Taven, Michael Bennett with Maria. They defeated Jushin Thunder Liger and Matt Sydal. In a singles match, Okada with Gato. Okada, I believe the New Japan Pro Wrestling World Heavyweight Champion right now. Or maybe he's the Intercontinental Champion. He's one of the two. Okada defeated Cedric Alexander. Three-way tag team title match. Or not. I don't know if it's for the tag titles, but it was a three-way. The Addiction, Frankie Kazarian, Christopher Daniels defeated The Decade, Adam Page, and BJ Whitmore. And they defeated Beretta and Ricky Romero. Shinsuke Nakamura defeated ACH. I'm sure that was a great match. Jay Lethal, the World Heavyweight World Television Champion. Jay Lethal defeated Naito, New Japan Pro Wrestler. Or Nato, whatever the guy's name is. Ken Suzaki defeated Michael Elgin. I probably pronounced it wrong. I apologize. I don't really watch hardly any New Japan Pro Wrestling. But a lot of these guys are still working in Ring of Honor. ROH All-Stars. Hanson, Jay Briscoe, Mark Briscoe, Ray Rowe, and Roderick Strong defeated the team of the Bullet Club, AJ Styles, Doc Gallows, Carl Anderson, Matt Jackson, and Nick Jackson in a 10-man tag team match. So Ring of Honor defeats the Bullet Club. That was Global Wars night number 1. Night number 2 had a lot of matches. 14 matches were in night number 2 of Global Wars 2015. Kira Saka, whatever the guy's name is, defeated Will Ferrara. Silas Young defeated Tanaka Wannabe, whatever the guy's name is. Moose defeated Adam Page. The Briscoes defeated the House of Truth, Donovan Dijak, and Jay Diesel. I don't know who Jay Diesel is. Kyle O'Reilly for the ROH Tag Team titles. Kyle O'Reilly defeated The Addiction, Christopher Daniels, and Frankie Kazarian by disqualification. I guess Kyle O'Reilly was by himself. It was a 2-on-1 handicap match for the tag titles. That's kind of odd. I don't know where Bobby Fish was, but whatever. Maybe he's injured. Jushin Thunder Liger was back, and night number 2, Jushin Thunder Liger defeated Dalton Castle. Bob Evans defeated Cheeseburger in a no contest. The Bullet Club, Doc Gallows and Carl Anderson, and the Kingdom, Matt Taven, Michael Bennett, they wrestled to a double disqualification. So it was double DQ. And they were not teams. They were against each other. The Kingdom against the Bullet Club, double DQ. War Machine defeated The Decade, Adam Page and Colby Carino. Cedric Alexander defeated Moose. More matches. New Japan Pro wrestlers Tatsuhata and Naito defeated ACH and Matt Sydal. Shinsuke Nakamura defeated Roderick Strong. Michael Elgin defeated Gato. Bullet Club, AJ Styles, Matt Jackson, and Nick Jackson defeated Chaos. Trent Beretta, Okada, and Ricky Romero. So that was Global Wars 2015 night number 1 and 2. So now I'm going to talk about Best in the World 2015. Here we go with Best in the World. I watched it live on pay-per-view. I ordered it, and I did a review on it. Check out my Ring of Honor pay-per-view predictions and reviews to watch my Best in the World 2015 predictions and review show. Up first was Mark Briscoe with ODB defeating Donovan Dijak with Truth Martini. The Decade. BJ Whitmore, Adam Page defeated Matt Sydal and ACH. Dalton Castle defeated Silas Young. War Machine defeated CNC Wrestling Factory, Caprice Coleman and Cedric Alexander. Roderick Strong. Number 1 contenders match for the Ring of Honor World title, 3-way. Roderick Strong defeated Michael Elgin and Moose. 6-man tag, Bullet Club, AJ Styles, and the Young Bucks defeated the Kingdom, Adam Cole, Michael Bennett, and Matt Taven. The Addiction in a no disqualification match for the Ring of Honor tag team titles. The Addiction defeated Red Dragon, Bobby Fish, and Kyle O'Reilly. Main event was winner take all match for the Ring of Honor World title, Ring of Honor TV title. Jay Lethal, the TV champion, defeated Jay Briscoe, the Ring of Honor World champion. So Jay Lethal left with all the gold in the winner-take-all match. It was a pretty awesome main event. It was a very good match between Lethal and Jay Briscoe. I remember it very well. So that is Best in the World 2015. Now I should talk about at least 1 or 2 NXT shows. See if I can find the last takeover before Takeover Brooklyn. I should have typed in NXT specials. Anyways, I think it's here. I don't know. So the specials, or if I could find it, Takeover specials. 2015 I'll talk about. Starting with, I'll talk about NXT TakeOver Unstoppable, which took place on May 20th, 2015, the final one before Brooklyn. So the matches were up first, the Mechanics. Dash Wilder and Scott Dawson. That's an awful name for a tag team. The Mechanics, they're now the Revival. That's a way better tag name. Dash and Dawson, the Mechanics, defeated the Vaudevillains in a tag match. Vaudevillains, as just a side note, go off topic a little bit. The Vaudevillains are still on SmackDown, and they have fallen off the face of the earth. I don't know where the hell they've been on SmackDown, but they haven't been on TV. Maybe they are on Main Event. But they haven't been on SmackDown, or I haven't even seen the Vaudevillains for like 2 months. It's crazy. Hopefully they're still employed. Finn Balor defeated Tyler Breeze in a singles match to determine the #1 contender for the NXT Championship. Up next, tag team match, women's action. Charlotte and Bayley defeated Emma and Dana Brooke. What I remember of this, I'm sure it was a pretty entertaining tag match. I don't remember it that well, though. Baron Corbin defeated Rhino. The tag team titles now. Blake and Murphy, the champions, defeated Enzo Amore and Colin Cassidy. I always wanted Enzo and Cash to win the NXT tag titles, but they never did, sadly. NXT Women's Championship, Sasha Banks, the champion, defeated Becky Lynch by submission. I do remember that match very well. It was great. It was an awesome match. Sasha really worked over the arm of Becky Lynch. Becky was holding her arm throughout the match, holding her shoulder. Great selling by Becky. It was a great women's title match. Sasha defeats Becky. Main event was for the NXT Championship. Kevin Owens, the NXT Champion, defeated Sami Zayn. The match ended in a no contest. I believe the ref might have stopped the match because Owens just beat the crap out of Zayn, so he couldn't wrestle or something like that, I think. Or maybe that was at the TakeOver before. But I do remember Owens beat the dog crap out of Zayn, and he couldn't even get up and continue. So the match was stopped. I believe that's when Owens won the NXT Championship. The ref stopped the match, gave the title to Kevin Owens because Zayn was knocked out. So that's NXT TakeOver 2015 Unstoppable. I predicted the show and reviewed it in my 2015 playlist of NXT predictions and reviews for 2015. Go back and watch that. This has been the Year in Wrestling 2015 Part 2. Hope you enjoyed it. Follow me on Twitter at WWE NXT Guy. Also follow me at NXT WWE Guy. Also subscribe to my YouTube. I really appreciate it. Hit them with the Hein, and good night.